Once Lord Shiva was asking his devotee, please ask any boon. So he asked only all troubles, problems and dukkha. So same question was asked by Lord Krishna to Kunti. Then he asked, why you are asking this? Everybody asks for sukha, but he says, we will not forget during the dukkha. So that is Vedana, the inquiry, the Jnana, what Guruji is saying. So this can happen only in the presence of the presence of the presence, means who are enlightened, who are very simple, very, very simple. So we are very complex. So the presence of the presence will come lot of difficulties. But again, Kabir says, what is one difficulty? On one difficulty, there are crores of the happiness hidden with the Guru. So that's why I wanted to live with the Guru. So the prostrations to all the Gurus and the presence. With this, today we'll listen to Guruji. Pranams to all.
Oh, as Kulkarni doctor has told, Guru is not a human being. Guru is not in flesh. Guru is light. Guru is enlightenment. Guru is everywhere. Guru doesn't have egoism. Guru is not karta. If you have that bhava, then you will find yourself, you are immersed in the Guru. You are immersed in the light. Don't think Guru is a person. Light gives you satisfaction. Light gives you knowledge. Light gives you peace of mind. Light gives you the core of the being. So take light as a Guru. Guru means itself is a light. Guru, which gives light. A man cannot give light. Only God can give light. So God is Guru, which immense always transmits the light. So always keep in mind that we are living with the Guru, in the Guru, by the Guru, and we are immersed in them. So let's start today's topic. Today's topic looks very simple, but it's a highly complex topic. The title of topic is Samskara, Sanskar Vasana and Process to deal with them. So firstly we must understand what is Samskara. Samskara doesn't come from outside. Everybody has a different Samskara. Samskara means your internal thoughts, your internal bhava, your internal vasana, where you live most of your time. Suppose you go to the temple, you go to the Gurudwara, but if you observe yourself within, or even if you don't observe it, your bhava, your thoughts will come automatically. Those thoughts will come which are inside you. Although you are in temple, thoughts of greediness may come if you are a greedy person. Erotic thoughts will come if you are immersed in the sex or your background is totally erotic. Or thoughts will come if you have a divine personality. If you have thoughts of divinity, you are born in that thoughts, then in temples you go, you will get those thoughts. Thoughts are, or samskaras are, all those inclinations, जिसको हिंदी में झुकाव कहते हैं, all those inclinations which are built in you, they are not in your consciousness, they are in your subconsciousness. And subconsciousness is very deep. Your thought of greediness, your erotic thoughts, or thoughts of your love for God, if they are precipitated, even if you are in a different location, whatsoever comes to you, you must know you are internally built in that. You are XYZ, but your thoughts will be not X, Y, Z. Your thought may be X plus 1, Y plus 1, or Z plus 1. Any thoughts. So whatsoever thought from your subconscious mind comes automatically. It means those are your Samskaras. Most of the people don't understand what Samskara is. It takes years and years together to know what Samskara he is having, because he doesn't understand. Although he is in a very pure and very romantic place, very divine place, but his Samskaras will be what is built in him. It may be divine Samskaras, it may be Samskaras of love, Samskara of greed, maybe Samskara of anger, Samskara of egoism. So what is built in you, that will come. That is the Samskaras. You can understand it in a different way. Suppose you are sitting in a room on the chair and you just drop by drop, you throw the water on the floor. You will find if it is a bare land, not the built-in floor, then water will flow in one particular direction. It will make its own groove. You wait for some time, let the water get dried up. You put more water. You will find the water will flow on those grooves where it has flown earlier. Its flow will not change. Maybe you put the direction is different, but the flow of water will be through the same grooves. It means wherever canals have been made, by the first incident, water will try to follow the same. In the same way, our thoughts or desires or vasanas are not made in a day or two. It may be of past few janmas, past few births. And when we are on this birth, our subconscious mind is with us. Although we are thinking something else, but internally you will find you are dual. Outside you are thinking something, but internally your thought will flow on the same grooves, the same pattern which were there the last few births. It means what you are built in, same thing will come again and again in front of you. It is not in your control. Firstly, you will not understand it. But as you grow old, you become sensitive. Then you suddenly realize why only similar thoughts comes to me, whether I am in a cinema or whether I am in temple, whether I am in picture hall or whether I am in the market. Same thoughts comes. It means your grooves are so prominent that outside present has no effect on you. Past grooves have a very tremendous effect. So this is the Samskaras. And this Samskara will not allow you to do something positive which you want to do now, because you are built in a different pattern and now you want to change your pattern. So it takes a lot of time, and this is what we call the process to deal with the Samskaras. You will understand this is not that easy, because your grooves are already formed. They are inbuilt in you. And now you want to change your direction. Firstly, you will think, what I am thinking is right. If I am having such thought, you consider everybody is having same. Because your egoism will not allow you to think in a different pattern. You always think you are right. That is the reason whenever you talk to different person, They will never agree with you. They consider their right. Oh, another person can be right. If I am divine, the others are divine. He thinks if he is thief, then others are also thief. If he is greedy and doing all sort of cheating, he thinks others are also of that type. The question is, what are your samskaras? What are your inner vasanas? You consider others are of the same type. You cannot think it otherwise. This is the big issue. I will tell you a small story. One person went with his driver to the hill station. He came out from the car. He said the place is very wonderful. Flowing water, murmuring of the trees and birds, pretty stone and mountains, always everywhere peace and no pollution, no noise. He feels that it is the heaven on the earth. He calls his driver outside and asks him, how do you find these places? He very bluntly replies him, what is this in this place? Only stone and grass and water? He cannot feel the divinity in that place. It means his samskaras are very rooty. He has not developed, he has not conceived the beauty of the place. He has not experienced those vibrations, those fine vibrations, which that romantic place is possessing. Because in last few births, the driver was living in the stones and dirt and other inhygienic places. So his grooves are made of like that. He could not appreciate the beauty. So what I mean to say, what are the grooves in you of your past karmas? You follow that in your life. Particularly you will find different children before the age of 7. They are quite different. Some likes going to the temple. Some likes to sleep and eat and do all type of nuisance. Because their samskaras are like that. You look the life of Raman Maharishi. In the young age itself, he was inclined towards God. You take the life of Yogananda. In the young age itself, he talks about the God or nothing else, as if nothing else exists except the God. So what are ingrooved in you? That are your samskaras. When you grow and pass the 7th year of your age, then your mind gets developed gradually. So what are your inbuilt samskaras? They start manifesting. If you have erotic feelings of the past lives, you will find the child of 12 to 14 years of age, they are full of erotic feelings. They cannot think anything else. If he is greedy, he becomes thief in the beginning itself. He starts stealing the money from others. But if he is divine, he finds divinity in each and every place. He looks in the eyes of people and he finds the divinity in them. So this is the samskaras which are built in you. So when you grow old after 20 or 25 years, this samskara will go on manifesting. And then suddenly you think that why I am getting such thoughts? Divine person thinks, why is getting such thoughts? He looks for the guru. And the person who is erotic or greedy or whatsoever it is, he looks for such companies where his thoughts are there. But if he gets a sudden jerk in life, why I am like this? Why when I go to the market or any place else, I see only the hotels. I say, I am all the time hungry, although I don't have a hunger. He gets surprised. Another person who goes in the marketplace, he doesn't see hotels. He always sees the opposite sex. He doesn't find anything else interest to him. These are the samskaras. And the divine person goes, he looks for the divine beauty everywhere and try to come across to such a person from whom he can learn something. So these are all samskaras. And when the time comes, divine persons becomes more divine, and other persons, if they want to change their path, if such feelings comes that why I should not become like a great man like others, if such thoughts comes in them, then he thinks, oh, I can rectify my samskaras, oh, I can change myself, oh, I can transform myself. And here, when he thinks of transformation, then the changes starts happening in him. Thinking of transformation itself is the first point where he has to deviate his way of living. Moments he starts thinking in that pattern, then gradually his looks becomes different. And the samskaras which have been created last few births, in short interval of time, they will not vanish. But if he has a firm sankalpa, very firm sankalpa, and if he is prepared that he has to change his mind, he has to change his way of living, then gradually he is able to do it. How he is able to do it? It's a very firm resolution. Firstly, he has to fill up the grooves which have been formed. And these grooves are not of the soil that you take a bucket of soil and fill up the grooves. These are the grooves in the mind. These mental grooves have to be filled up. And mental grooves can only be filled up when there is a bhakti bhava, divine thinking of such a high order that in bhakti, in devotion for God, you cry and weep for the God, so that your accumulated dirt of the mind gets dissolved. And when the dirt of the mind gets dissolved, then gradually, by the growth of the sides, the groove will be filled up. It is not that easy that will be filled up in no time, but you have to do tapa. Tapa means you have to heat it by the presence of God, by the yoga sadhana, so that with yoga sadhana itself, these grooves can be filled up by the material of divinity. When these grooves will be filled up in total in your mind, then you become like other persons who goes to the hills and find the beauty of the nature. Then you doesn't behave like a driver who went to the hill and said, there are stones and nothing else. He finds the beauty there. If a person like him, if he goes to the temple, go to the Shiva temple, and he's saying the Shiva, what is this? It's a black stone only. But he doesn't find that is a symbol of God which emits the light, which emits the divinity around him. It is the sign of Shunya, sign of zero, sign of void. You see the Shiv Linga, it's a sign of void. And this life is full of void. Everything gets dissolved in the void. It gets dissolved in the Shiva. And it regenerates from the Shiva. Then he will not talk. He is seeing the stones going to thousands and thousands of miles away. he thinks he has gone to merge in the beauty of God. Like that, the changes occurs, and then his old Samskaras will get vanished, and he becomes a new person, no time. Question is, it's a long process. How to fill up the old Samskaras and come to the new way of living is the process of evolution. So, the second part I will discuss all those things.
సో ప్రతి ఒక్కరికి సంస్కారాలు అనేవి ఉంటాయి. మొట్టమొదట గురువు గారు చెప్పారు, గురువు అంటే ఏమిటి? గురువు అనేది ఒక తత్వం, శరీరం కాదు, లేకపోతే ఆయన కర్త కాదు, ఆయన ఏమో చేస్తాడు. ఆయన అనేది ఒక ప్రెజెన్స్, అంటే కేవలం ఉనికిలో ఉన్నాడు. మనమంతా గురువు ద్వారా పైన, వెనకాల, లోపల అన్ని వైపులా ఆ గురుతత్వం దాగి ఉంది. అది మీరు తెలుసుకోండి. ఎప్పుడైతే మనం సదా ఎల్లప్పుడూ గురువుతో ఉన్నామని అర్థం చేసుకుంటామో అప్పుడు మిగతా అన్ని ఆటోమేటిక్ గా సరళంగా మీలో ఉన్న సంస్కారాలు కానీ మనలో ఉన్న చెడు అలవాట్లు ఆటోమేటిక్ గా వెళ్ళిపోతాయి. గురువు అంటే ఉనికి లేదా హోష్ అంటారు కదా, అంటే మనం ఒక జాగరూకత, దాన్నే చైతన్యం అని కూడా అన్నారు. కాబట్టి మొట్టమొదట ఇది చెప్పారు. దాని తర్వాత సంస్కారాలు అంటే ఎవరెవరికి ఎలాంటి సంస్కారాలు ఉంటాయో అలాంటి సంస్కారాలే మనలో వస్తూ ఉంటాయి. ఉదాహరణకు ఒక కథ ద్వారా గురువు గారు చెప్తున్నారు. ఒక మంచి పర్వతం పైన గుడికి తీసుకుని వెళ్తాడు యజమాని డ్రైవర్ని. అక్కడ గుడి ఉంది, ప్రకృతి సౌందర్యం ఉంది, నది ఉన్నాయి, నీళ్లు ఉన్నాయి, సో పవిత్రమైన వాతావరణం, దైవత్వం అన్నీ ఉన్నాయి. అప్పుడు ఆ యజమాని తన డ్రైవర్ని అడుగుతాడు, ఎలా ఉంది, ఎలా కనిపిస్తుంది నీకు అంటే, ఏం లేదని రాయి రప్పలు ఉన్నాయండి, నీళ్లు ఉన్నాయని చెప్తాడు. అంటే వెనకటి జీవితంలో ఆయన రాయి రప్పలతో అంటే నికృష్టమైన జీవితాన్ని గడిపాడు. అదే విధంగా మనకి ఆకలి కలిగినప్పుడు మనం ఎక్కడ చూసిన హోటల్ గురించి వెతుకుతూ ఉంటాం. ఇంకొక ఆయనకి వెనకటి జీవితంలో సెక్స్, ఏరోటిక్ థాట్స్ ఉన్నాయి. ఎక్కడ చూసినా కానీ ఆడవాళ్ళు లేకపోతే మగవాళ్ళకి ఆడవాళ్ళు ఇట్లా కనిపిస్తూ ఉంటారు. అంటే మన ఎట్లాంటి సంస్కారాలు ఉంటే బయట జగత్తు అట్లానే కనిపిస్తూ ఉంటుంది. ఆకలి అయిన వానికి అన్ని హోటల్ కనిపిస్తుంటాయి, ఆకలి లేని వానికి హోటల్ ఉన్నా కానీ కనిపించదు అని చెబుతూ ఉన్నారు. ఇంకా ఇవి సాత్వికమైనవి కూడా ఉండొచ్చు. సాత్వికమైన సంస్కారాలు ఉన్నప్పుడు మనకు తెలుసు, పరమహంస యోగానంద గారు కానీ, రమణ మహర్షి గారు కానీ అతి చిన్న వయస్సులోనే వారు జ్ఞానాన్ని పొంది భగవంతుని వైపు మలచబడ్డారు. ఎన్నో జన్మల నుండి మన బ్రెయిన్, మెదడులో గ్రూవ్స్ తయారవుతాయి. అంటే మళ్ళీ మళ్ళీ అదే అలవాటు. ఒక ఆయన కోప్పడే అలవాటు, ఇంకో ఆయన సిగరెట్ తాగే అలవాటు, ఇంకొక ఆయనకి సెక్స్ అలవాటు, ఇట్లాంటి అలవాట్లు, లేదా ఎప్పుడు ఆలోచించే అలవాటు. సో ఇటువంటి అలవాట్లు గ్రూవ్స్ ఏర్పడతాయి. ఆ గ్రూవ్స్ ని అర్థం చేసుకోవాలి, బాగా లోతుగా వెళ్ళాలి, అప్పుడే మనము చేయొచ్చు అని చెప్తున్నారు.
So let's talk of the next part. First part is just to make you aware what is all that Samskara. If you know what are your Samskaras, what are your built-in intentions. Intentions are in deep achetana, deep subconscious mind. When you perceive that and you want to put your efforts to reform yourself, then the process of reformation comes. You want to be away from all the thoughts of greediness, erotic thoughts, egoism, whatsoever it is. Then there are two ways. First wave is Sankalpa and then Samarpana. You have to pass a resolution within you that you want to realize God in this life. You have to become out from the erotic thoughts. You have to come out from your vasanas, your greediness, your egoism, or whatsoever it is. You should resolve firmly in your mind. When you have a firm thoughts of that, within no time, these thoughts will go away. Again, the old thoughts will come. But you have when you have the Sankalpa, then you observe those thoughts. Don't fight with the thoughts, but just observe very deeply. Old thoughts of greediness or erotic thoughts or whatsoever it is. It gets melted away as you put the sun rays through the lens on the paper. Paper gets burned. Same way, if you inwardly observe it, inward observations takes a lot of mental energy. It is not easy to observe inwardly. When you inwardly observe these thoughts, not in a day or two, maybe years, maybe decades, then gradually these thoughts will vanish and their energies of the thoughts will fill the grooves which have been made by them. When the grooves are filled up by your keen observation of Sankalpa, it's very important. Keen observation of Sankalpa. I have to fill up these thoughts by the energy of my observation. Technique looks to be very simple, but it's a self-dissolution. Again and again you have to put efforts. Unless and until you are very firm, you will not be able to succeed here. Here it will not help to just pray by the folded hands in the temples and do it. No, because you have created your karmas like that, and those karmas, you don't want to relive it, but you tried this karma should get vanished. For that Sankalpa, keen observation of energy. Energy observation brings the fire in such a way that grooves are filled up by burning its sides. As the paper gets burned by the energy of the sun, it passes through the lens. Same way, your observation will fill up these grooves. When it becomes the smooth surface, then the pure mind with your drilled Sankalpa, you just put to the God, as if you had samarpan to the God, as if you had whatsoever you got in purity, you are just donating to the God, donating to the Supreme Power. When your efforts you are donating to the Supreme Power, then there means no egoism in you. You will not be karta. You are not the doer. And you think yourself as if God has done everything. Then you become pure like gold. When you become pure like gold, then you are all Samskara, which are deep rooted in your subconscious mind. Gradually they come up, they got burned, and finally you become a person with a pure mind, pure divinity, and devoted towards the God. This is the way of basically Sankalpa and Samarpana. Sankalpa and Samarpana is the only way in the first instance to dissolve your spoon, Samskara, Sanskar Vasana and all related issues. The second approach is of Vedana, which I discussed in the beginning itself. Vedana is a very critical approach. When you become sensitive, you go in a temple and you get bad thoughts. It must pinch your mind, pinch your consciousness. It gives you so much Vedana to you. What is this? I have come to the holy place and my mind, my thoughts are full of dirt, dirty thoughts I am having. That only you know and the God knows. Nobody, third man will not know about it. It is your personal only. Then you get the pain of it within you that I am such a person with such wretched thoughts, wretched inclination, wretched vasanas, that coming in a holy place, I am having thoughts of such kind, how the God can forgive me? If you get that Vedana, that deep kasta in your heart and mind, then by deep Vedana, the energy will get aroused in such a way that your slots made by Samskara will get filled up. Vedana is not outside, but it comes from the deep of your heart. Sometimes you have to weep for the Vedana. You will not weep, but automatically your heart will weep. What is this? People are reached to the self-realization at my age, and I am just having such a thinking, such a thought that coming in a holy place, I don't feel His presence, but I feel my inner dirt is coming out. That Vedana will give you a one focused direction. You must know when you are in kast, in Vedana, your mind becomes standstill. You can observe yourself. When your child is sick, you are in Vedana. Then your mind is at one particular point. When you are Vedana for your dirty thoughts, then also your mind becomes at one particular point. It becomes focused. When mind is focused, when mind becomes focused, focusing of the mind itself is a death of the mind. Mind gets diluted, and then the consciousness appears. Mind and consciousness are opposite to each other. As mind gets dissolved, then the consciousness appears. Consciousness is divine light. As the consciousness, divine light appears, you get all type of wisdom. You become one with the divinity by the presence of Vedana. Vedana means kast, and Vedana other side means Ved. Full knowledge you will get it. So don't get scared about the Vedana. Vedana is not only the kast, it's not only the problems, but at the same times it gives you the immense Vedic knowledge, because the mind gets focused. And mind gets focused, the divinity comes, divine light comes. In presence of divine light, no samskaras can remain. You becomes pure like diamond. Nothing remains. Vedana will take you highest platform of such a high level that there is no comparison. You know Mirabai, she was in Vedana for the God, Vedana for the Lord. She cried and wept for the Lord. He has not done anything else. She only wanted God. She only wanted Lord Krishna. It was a Vedana with it. And that Vedana finally brought the cosmic consciousness, cosmic divinity in her, and she merged with the God, and she became one with the God itself. You must know the story of Mayu. When his son was sick, he tried his level best that his son should get cured. But year after year, he could not be cured. He was getting weak and weak. Finally, he came to the deathbed. Then he prayed to the God, Allah, that you take my life, but save my child. He was in such a Vedana that he finds that his life is nothing before the life of child. When he come to that highest level of Vedana and ready to sacrifice his own life, then gradually sons becomes healthy and his health starts getting deteriorated. When son becomes complete healthy, then he was completely sick. And when son was walking and in a gay position, then his father, Mayu, died. What I mean to say, Vedana has such a power. Vedana with deep prayer becomes one-pointedness, and one-pointedness is the God. In Gita, the Lord Krishna has clearly told that unless and until you will not become, your energies are not directed towards one direction, in the complete form with your deeds, with your karmas, your thoughts, and you don't want anything else except God, you become sthit pragya, then only you will get it. Whatsoever you. So when that stage comes, then your samskaras, your vasana will all disappear and you become as pure as diamond, and you can merge with the God. You become the divine personality. It is uncomparable achievement in life if you are able to nullify all your samskaras of births and births by your vedana, by your sankalpa, and by your samarpana. So these are the only ways. Only your divinity, your firm resolution and love for God will fulfill your all the desire, make you a diamond-like, a divine personality. You will be self-realized. There is nothing more to achieve in this life if you are able to nullify your own samskaras, your own subconscious thoughts, and you become totally aware and merge in the divine light. This is the supreme achievement and the goal of life. May God bless you to nullify your all samskaras. All people have some samskara or the others. Unless they nullify the samskaras, they cannot merge. Let's pray God and beg for His blessings besides our own efforts. Our efforts can lead you in some position, but unless and until God pulls us towards Him, we cannot achieve anything. By our efforts, we can reach to a certain point. Finally, the God at the top has to pull us so that we can merge in Him. So that should be our aim of life. We must come to the highest position so that the God should pull us and make us merge in Him. Let's pray God for His help, for His blessings, and for His kindness. Thank you.
సో గురువు గారు సంస్కార వాసనని ఎలా తొలగించుకోవాలో చెప్తున్నారు. యాక్చువల్గా నాకు ఈరోజు ఎమర్జెన్సీ పేషెంట్స్ రావడం వల్ల వినలేకపోయాను. విన్నది కొన్ని విషయాలు చెప్పదలుచుకున్నాం. సో బాగా లోతుగా ఈ సంస్కార వాసనని అర్థం చేసుకోవాలి. మన మెదడులో, బ్రెయిన్ లో లేదా మనసులో పడిన డీప్ గ్రూవ్స్, ఏర్పడిన మరకలు అంటాం కదా, ఒక బట్టలపై మరకలు ఎలా ఉంటాయో అలా మీరు దాన్ని బాగా గమనించాలి. బాగా లోతుగా గమనించినప్పుడు మరియు ఈశ్వరుని యొక్క కృప మనపై ప్రవహిస్తుంది. అలా ప్రవహించినప్పుడు మనము అట్లాంటి పరిస్థితులు వచ్చినప్పుడు నాన్ రియాక్టివ్ గా ఉండాలి. అంటే బాగా లోతుగా గమనించడం ద్వారా అవన్నీ కూడా ఆ మరకలు మెల్లమెల్లగా సమయం తీసుకొని కంప్లీట్ గా తొలగించబడతాయి. దీనికి లోతైన ఎంక్వైరీ మరియు గురువు సహవాసము, సజ్జన సాంగత్యము, మంచి ఆలోచన, ప్రతిరోజు శ్వాస మీద ధ్యాస ఉండొచ్చు, క్రియాయోగం ఉండొచ్చు, జపం ఉండొచ్చు. అటువంటివన్నీ కూడా మన యొక్క పూర్వ అభ్యాసాలని తీసుకుంటూ వెళితే తప్పకుండా దీనిలో విజయం సాధించవచ్చు. మనసులో గమనింపు శక్తి అనేది ఉంది. సో ఎంత గమనిస్తూ మనం వెళ్తామో, అబ్జర్వేషన్ చేస్తామో, అంతే మనలో జాగరూకత పెరుగుతూ వస్తుంది.